Later on after the 10 o'clock news, Teresa George is going to be with us. She is with Career Services at Saginaw Valley State University talking about their upcoming employment fair. At 11 o'clock, Lehman's Green Apple Barn will be the subject of focus. We'll also hear from Terry Henney, who's going to be at Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm, which gets the season underway. But for this hour, it's a special hour when this guy is with me because he is the premier voice of the outdoors in Michigan, the outdoor lifestyle. You hear him on WSGW and 30-plus radio stations around the state of Michigan. And he is the one and the only Mike Avery. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. It is always a pleasure to be in here with you,
Mutual.
Sharing a studio with you.
It's mutual.
Yeah.
It's mutual. And by the way, folks, Mike, of course, is here, and this is the one time you can actually call into the Mike Avery Show and talk to Mike. 989-752-6111 if you have a question or a concern about the great outdoors and all the things happening and a bit the way the state runs it. You can give us a call this morning and chat with Mike Avery. So I'm just going to bring this up right away, and we can dispense with it and move on.
Sure.
Because on your Wednesday night feed, you mentioned that Amy Trotter is no longer with MUCC.
Yeah.
I took that to be devastating news in some ways because of how good she was. What can you tell us, and where do we have to stop?
I'm heartbroken. I've worked closely with Amy for many years. You've seen her in action, so you know just how good she is.
Yeah. Great leader.
I didn't see this coming. Nobody saw this coming other than Amy and the powers that be behind the scenes. A complete surprise. The only official news is MUCC has confirmed that Amy Trotter is no longer with the organization, and I reached out to Amy, and Amy has confirmed that she is no longer with the organization. Don't know the details about what happened, why it happened, how it happened. Don't know about a replacement chief, CEO, or even an interim. We don't know anything about an interim. You say she's still on the website. I mean, this is all brand new. When I first reported this yesterday, it was people just they're aghast. Nobody can believe it.
I watched your feed last night, and I sat there and go, "What did he just say?"
Yeah,
I can't believe that because she seems so vibrant and vital.
She is a force for conservation in Michigan. She will be definitely missed at MUCC. I'm sure she will end up in the conservation field somewhere. But now the question is, what about MUCC? I support Amy Trotter, very strongly, but I also support MUCC.
Right.
So the hope and the question now is MUCC strong enough as an organization, and with the people remaining in the organization, because there are some very good people there. Where does it go now? And I will continue to work with them if they will have me.
As I texted you last night, these things often, as devastating as they are, provide new opportunity. So for Amy, it's an opportunity to move on to another organization and show her leadership and do for them what she's done from MUCC. And for MUCC, it's a chance to find a new leader, and who knows?
Exactly. I would love to be able to look down the road 6 months, but of course we don't have that luxury and see what's going to happen.
I have to ask this, Mike. I don't think anybody's ever asked you this. Let's say the phone rang tomorrow and it was MUCC saying, "Mike Avery, how would you like to be our executive director?" Have you ever thought about being involved in an organization from that standpoint?
I have thought about it, and I would run the other direction. I really would.
I would too. That's why I'm asking.
I would run the other direction. It's somebody used this, and maybe it was you, but somebody said the other day, Mike Avery, Art Lewis, whoever, for the most part, people kind of like you. There are a lot of people who can't stand you, but, most people generally kind of like you. But you get a position of politics, like running for office or getting in a position like the NRC or the DNR or MUCC, and immediately it's polarizing. I don't want anything to do with that. I think I am. I think I'm in the right position at the right time, and I would stay here. I would be honored It'll never happen. I would be honored if they were interested, but I am not interested in such a move.
I assumed that. And I feel exactly the same way, which is why I do what I do. I'm at the bottom end of the totem pole, and I enjoy it.
Right.
You know, I don't have to worry about all those other things. But let's just give our thoughts to Amy and tell her that we're thinking of her. And,
absolutely. Yeah.
And we wish her well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What else did you surprise us with? Well, it wasn't a surprise, but it's been reported that there's a new disease in southern Michigan.
I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to laugh.
But there's a new disease affecting deer in southern Michigan.
Right.
Hasn't moved up that we know of.
It's actually
right?
not new, though. It's been around for a while. EHD, episodic hemorrhagic disease, but something like that. Primarily affects whitetails. It is caused by midge flies, no-see-ums. It happens in years. Let me get this straight here. It happens in years where it got real hot at the end of the summer and the water holes kind of dried up, and they left mud. Areas that was under the water before became mud, and the no-see-ums were able to come up out of that mud, and then they bite deer. It's almost always fatal. It is far faster acting than CWD. CWD might take a long time. EHD, it's not good. Deer become confused. They lose their fear of man. It's in the southern part of the state. It rarely goes north. I mean, we've had this before. Every few years we get EHD. We don't get it as bad as Ohio or Indiana or Kentucky. They are devastated sometimes by EHD. We had a real bad outbreak 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it takes a few years to recover from that because when your adult deer are taken out by this, I mean, it takes 3, 4 years to bring them back. The news release came out, if I remember right, that there were 4 known cases, but I know there's more than that because I had a guy on Wednesday Night Live last night who found 2 down by St. Joe. I said, did you report these to the DNR? Are these 2 of the 4? He said, yeah, I reported them, but I reported them after the news release. So there are far more than that. Yeah.
And the only control is to control the midges, which is pretty tough.
It is tough. Now, there is a product. It's called Aqua Shield. It's made by Killer Food Plots to treat your water sources. And I'm not sure the chemistry of how it works, but they say it is really very effective. So
you put it in water when the water's still there, not the mud.
Exactly.
Yes, that water seeps down into the mud and takes care of the no-see-ums.
Yep. Yep. They say the window of opportunity is still open. I think it's getting a little late to treat them, but it's just one of those things that it's a cycle. When you get the weather just right, it happens.
And it's not funny, but it's strange because when you hear of a new disease like that, the first thing you think of is, they're going to cut out baiting, but that would have nothing to do with it. It wouldn't do a thing.
But they already have down here.
And they already have anyway.
Yeah, in the Lower Peninsula. There is talk. There is a legislator who want to institute a bait license, meaning you paid your $20 or $25 or whatever the fee is to the DNR, would allow you to use limited baiting in the Lower Peninsula. I don't think it'll ever go through. The DNR certainly is not behind it. The DNR has put so much emphasis on the fact that chronic wasting disease is a huge problem, and baiting spreads CWD, they say. They will never get behind it. Yeah, they will never get behind allowing us to bait. I think we should be baiting. If they want us to take more animals, give us the tools to do it.
Well, and the other thing, too, is, for somebody to suggest, we'll let you put a bait pile up for $20. It tells me they don't care about the deer. It's all about money.
Exactly. The DNR cannot do that because they have too much invested in the fear of CWD.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a break. Our guest is Mike Avery. The great outdoors sits before us. You can hear Mike, of course, on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday here on WSGW. If you have any questions about the outdoor lifestyle, hunting, fishing, and the like, 989-752-6111. Give us a call.
Hey, it's Charlie Rood here.
With you here on the Art Lewis Show, in studio with me, the one and only Mike Avery from the Outdoor Magazine, which you hear on WSGW weekends. And a little shameless self-promotion for Mike. How's the knife doing?
You know,
Tell everybody the story.
It's doing very well. I work with a company called Rapid River Knives out of the UP. Chris Durson is the guy who owns that company, and he suggested to me a few months ago, he said, he says, we have an Avery promo code there. It's Mike Avery 15. He said, it's doing very well. He says, you have a pretty good-sized audience. He said, what do you think of the idea of doing a signature knife? And I'm like, no, I'm not interested. And then I kept thinking about it, and I thought, okay, well, if we could do a signature knife, I know it sounds egotistical, but if we could use it as a fundraising tool, then I would be interested. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what group? Thinking around, okay, Outdoor Driven, a local a group here that has been formed to get first responders and veterans on outdoor adventures to deal with the stress and trauma they have in their career. My dad was a cop for 35 years, so I have much respect for first responders, and I never served, so I feel guilty about that, so I have much respect for veterans. So we teamed up with Chris. We're doing a Rapid River knife, Mike Avery signature, and it's selling very well. And the proceeds from that knife go to Outdoor Driven.
Will they take me on an adventure?
We'll take you on an adventure, Art.
My sheriff's deputy.
So, it's doing very well. We're actually giving one away at a Wednesday night live event at the Lumberjack Restaurant on the 24th.
And reservations can be made.
989-343-0892. We're giving away a truck trolley, and we're giving away a Mike Avery signature knife, and a lot of other things as well. And you're going to be there with us, Art.
Yep. All right, let's take a call here. We have Scott in Lakeview. Scott, you're on with Mike Avery. Good morning.
I know who this is before you ever talk.
Hey, there you go. Good to hear you guys this morning. Mike, you know who this is. And
I do.
I just wanted to throw out on that Aqua Shield. I heard you guys discussing that. Anybody that's interested in that and learning more about it, I'm going to actually be over to Imlay City on Saturday in that booth. And I've been working with that technology for 25 years.
Scott, let me interrupt. Let me interrupt just for a minute. Yeah. I'll get back to you. But tell everybody, Mike, what's going on in Imlay City. It's a big show.
This weekend in Imlay City at the Eastern Michigan Fairgrounds is the big annual Woods and Water News Outdoor Weekend. It is the biggest event of the year for outdoor enthusiasts. Seminars, speakers, retailers, food, fun, all outdoor related. Rich Krazan of Killer Food Plots has a booth there, and Scott is saying he's going to be at that booth on Saturday. Right, Scott?
That's correct. Yeah, and that product goes to work almost immediately looking for carbon sources. So if they can get it in, it's not too late for that to happen. And I don't want to get in depth on this. We can take up a whole hour just discussing how it works and what it does. But it's not too late to get it in, and I just wanted to make sure that, your audience understood. If they have a problem, get with Rich or get with the Killer Food Plot folks or find some Aqua Shield and get those water holes treated as quickly as you can.
Scott, let me ask, you just really described it. What do you need ecologically to put it on? What kind of source do you need for it to work?
It will go right out of the gallon, right into the ponds, and it's looking for any type of decay. Maybe your ponds had geese and ducks on it. It is in the bottom of that pond. That's causing, the muck buildup, and in that muck, that's what those enzymes and aerobic bacteria are looking for. They're looking to get in there, and they're not going to distinguish it. A fly larva, a midge larva, or a mosquito larva, they're going after all of them, and they're going to use them as a food source, digest them, and that's the key to it. We're trying to get at those before they hatch. And, most of the time, midges, they're laying in that muck line, in that mud for up to a year and sometimes more. So if we can get it in there now and continue to monitor that or put some in next summer, that's going to help you control that larva from ever hatching.
Scott, if this product works as you say it does, and I believe you because I've known you for a long time, this should be so well known across the state. It should be used. It should be part of every farm, and landowners should be using this on their ponds and their water holes. And it sounds to me like it could almost prevent EHD. I don't want to do a commercial here, but I think there's so much promise for this, and I'm just a little disappointed that more people don't know about it.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Mike. This is coming from the dairy industry, coming from the swine industry. That's where it got its start across the country. But nobody ever really thought about the EHD process, and how that all works in these water holes and ponds. And now more and more people are learning about it and how quickly it can happen. But it's still taking education to get that message out there to the deer hunters, to the folks that are going to benefit from it right now.
Let me ask this. I mean, whatever organization is responsible for reporting and controlling it, DNR, for example, have they put the word out about this product? And why not?
No, it's a shame, Art, that hasn't happened, but, it's politics, I guess. But it's something we worked on the dairy and swine industry to get that name out there. It was under a different name. They finally came on board and in a big issue that, I can't really get into a whole lot on it over the Muskegon wastewater treatment plant. But then that's when they really started to see the benefits of what this product could do. And, I would love to sit down with the DNR and with Rich Krzan and just go through it and say, guys, we have something here that can help. And, get that word out, get the DNR backing it, and then we might be able to really move it forward.
Geez, you should be a marketing guy, Scott.
But slow it down.
You should be a marketing guy, Scott.
You do know I retired in January.
yeah, you retired to fish is what you did, and play golf. I know that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Scott.
I still get pretty passionate about it, and I'll let you guys continue on. But just anybody that would like to discuss this with me, I have other information I can share with you, show you. I'll be at Imlay City on Saturday, and I'll be in Rich Krzan's booth for a period of time.
All right, Scott. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
You guys have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Now he's going to jump on his angler quest and go out perch fishing.
I was just going to say, has he ever been on your angler quest?
He bought my old angler quest.
Oh, okay. We're going to take a break, come back, we'll get to more calls. We'll do that with Mike Avery when we return.
The Stray Cats. Hey, man.
Oh, man, since we were young and had no gray hair, so what would that be? Probably 30 years. No, let me think. Let me think. My daughter Shelby is 30. Probably 35 years. 35 years.
Yeah.
35 years.
Yeah.
So, you tend to stay on with them, or?
Well, until one of us is gone, we're going to continue to work together. Yeah, that's the plan. Well, the old Dixie Inn closed down, but Dave is cooking at the King's Dish restaurant in Standish Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights.
I'm going to have to go up there one of these days.
I know it. Me too. Yeah. Yeah, so Al, you should get up there. You can still enjoy Dixie Dave's cooking.
All right.
I will. Thank you.
Thanks,
You
Al.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And in Freeland, we find Sean this morning. You're on with Mike Avery. Sean, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. This is Sean at Baines.
Oh, hi, Sean. Baines Apple Farm. Yep, good.
Baines Apple Valley, yep. Hey, I wanted to say, so I was perch fishing with my daughter over the weekend, my adult daughter, who catches a 13-inch perch from our pontoon boat. And we fish in shallow waters where you can see everything. And she
let me correct you. That in Mike Avery's terms, that's skinny water.
Thank you, Art.
Well, skinny. I'll remember that. And so she catches it. Dad, back the boat up. We're on a pontoon, and she's fishing off the front of the boat. Dad, back the boat up. And she says, there's a huge perch. She catches it. I see her pole bend over. 13-inch perch. I've been fishing the lake. I won't say what lake, at our cottage for 25 or more years. And never caught a 13-incher. Caught 11, 12s, especially in the winter. But it's the reason I called is there's just nothing better when your adult daughter says, "I want to go out fishing with you in the morning," and then that happens. And I listen to Mike all the time in the mornings, and I listen to all your wonderful stories, and that's just one of the best, you know.
Isn't it? It is, isn't it? This outdoor lifestyle that many of us find so passionate. That is the thing to me that kind of ties this all together, and it is the. I don't want to use the word community because that's overused, and I hate that term. How about the family? And if it's your blood family, you know, even better. Yeah, that's why I got back into deer hunting. I got out of deer hunting because I couldn't take the social media pressure and the let them go, let them grow, and if you shoot it, it's too big. If you don't shoot it, it's too small, whatever. But I got back into deer hunting because I wanted to enjoy it with my son James and my grandkids, because it was something my dad used to do and my granddad used to do. Yeah, people cannot overlook the importance of this family tradition that we have, many of us in the state, of enjoying the outdoors, because it's a bond that is so strong and it passes down from generation to generation. So I'm so happy you guys got to go out there and do that. And actually, I'm very proud of your daughter for outfishing her dad, too.
Yeah. Well, I'll never hear the end of it.
Of course not.
I'll never hear the end of it.
Tell me this, though, Sean. I have to believe a 13-inch perch is not as sweet and as good as a 7 or 8-inch perch.
Well, when you put that on a sandwich and that feeds you with just that one perch, I'll be pretty happy about that.
All right, that's true.
Okay, so now I'm thinking Higgins, I'm thinking Houghton.
No,
you're not going to tell me.
We're on North Lake Leelanau.
Okay,
and it's spectacular.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
So,
all right,
you know, one more thing, we need to get Dixie Dave out here at the Baines and have a wild game dinner out here. We need to set that up.
Dave, before he started cooking at the King's Dish, he was still doing catering. I don't know if he is now, but I can,
he might.
Art can put you in touch with him.
All right. I'll be in touch with you, Sean.
I know how to get a hold of that guy. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Good deal.
All right. Talk to you, buddy.
Art.
Take care. Bye-bye. And before we take a break, we'll go to Hemlock and talk to Dino this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. Good morning, Mike.
Morning.
Hey, I've listened to you for quite a while, Mike. I have a bone to pick with you.
So does half the population.
Well, here a couple months back, you had Brian, the DNR biologist, on your show, and you were talking about wolves with him, and you had asked him if there was any thought of ever having the DNR deciding whether they'd have a wolf hunt or not. And he told you that the wolves would decide when there was a hunt or not, which I couldn't believe you did not call him out on that. Then he also told you that the wolf population hasn't increased in 15 years, which you know damn well is a line of BS, and you didn't call him out on that. And I'm an avid UP deer hunter, and I just can't believe you let him go with both those statements, Mike, and did not call him out on it.
Maybe I let him go because his statements were so outrageous that you as a listener realized he was full of crap.
Well, but you still didn't call him out on it.
Or maybe I was out of time with the segment.
That's the big one. That's the biggie.
Well,
you know, I honestly don't. I remember talking with him. I don't remember the specifics of that conversation. So I understand why you are not happy with that, but I will tell you this. I firmly believe that we need a wolf hunt in the UP. I think, and here's why I think so. I'm not one of those people who says kill them all. I like the fact that there are some wolves, but obviously there are too many of them. I hunted wolves in Ontario. Well, I hunted wolves in Ontario, and up there, since they are hunted, they have a fear of man. So if they see you, smell you, hear you, or even know you've been in the area, they're taken off. UP wolves don't have that fear of man. That's why they're so aggressive. That's why they're so dangerous. So yeah, obviously we need a wolf hunt. But the thing that I find interesting is people get mad at the DNR because we don't have a wolf hunt. Well, it's not the DNR's call. It's a federal issue.
I was going to say that's federal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's up to the feds. There is a plan in the Michigan DNR if the feds ever clear it to institute a Michigan wolf hunt again.
Are they still on the protected list then?
I believe so, because as soon as they come off, the antis jump on board and fight it again.
Yeah.
So you're still listening, though, right? You're still listening to the show, though, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right, Dino.
Fair enough.
Very good. Got to take a break. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Dino.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Thanks.
All right, we'll be back. When we return, we'll talk about the NRC and the DNR with Mike Avery. All coming up after this. Let me talk for a minute about Quick Lane Freeland, knowing that this was a bad year for allergies. They have a product they can inject into your air conditioning in your car called FrigiFresh, which will alleviate most of those allergic problems for you. And to tell you more about it, here's John from Quick Lane.
FrigiFresh. Hi.
Humphreys, who was a DNR wildlife biologist at the Gratiot-Saginaw game area many, many years ago. That's where I met her. She worked her way up through the ranks. She became director of the DNR, so she's got the chops. She's got the background. And so far she's been very, what we've seen has been very encouraging.
So we can get the politics out of it.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
Going back to Amy Trotter here, too, the first thing, I made this post and people said, wouldn't it be great if she could go over to the NRC?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
What?
Now, I don't know if it's going to work out or whatever, but she would be wonderful on the NRC. But the NRC, I feel like they're starting to come around. They did make this half-hearted attempt at the last meeting to say that it is their intent to reinstate year-round coyote hunting. Now, why they didn't just come out and say we're going to do it, I don't know. And because of their past history, I'm really suspect of anything they do. Although the folks at MUCC have said they said it's their intent and we're going to hold them to it. So we'll see. I feel like we're starting to move the right direction. Did you hear about the group in the UP who wants to break off and have their own Natural Resources Commission?
Yeah.
They want nothing to do with us down here.
Sorry, UP, you're still part of Michigan. It's.
They don't like that, but yes, they are.
Yeah. Now, if they had an advisory group, okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You can't have split jurisdiction, so to speak.
Right.
Doesn't
right.
make a lot of sense. The NRC, is it a political appointment?
They are appointed by the governor, so they are political appointments. It has to be, you can get no more of, it's 7 people, so it's got to be 4 and 3. You've got to have a break, Democrats and Republicans, but it is indeed a political appointment.
Yeah. I just, I shake my head. It seems that the farther from home we send them, the smarter they think they get. It doesn't always work that way.
And in regard to the DNR, and so many people in the state hate the DNR, I don't really understand it. Do they do a great job all the time? Of course not. Do they do a pretty good job most of the time? I think so. But the people at the field level, the biologists and technicians at the field level, at the district level, they are hardworking, committed, dedicated people. They wouldn't be doing this if they didn't love it, because they could get far more money in the private sector.
Well,
but like you say, as they work their way up the food chain and get closer to Lansing, they become less of a biologist and more of a politician, because they have to survive.
The other ones that we don't hear about because they go about doing their jobs, that's the COs.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy job. They're a fully certified police officer who have all the powers of a police officer, and they deal with some difficult situations.
And everybody they deal with is armed, for the most part.
For the most part. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And by taking people out of the fields who disregard the laws, that makes it better for everybody in the fields who follow the laws.
Yeah, yeah. And with the fall hunting season coming up, I would just say along that line, I think I'm never one to judge how somebody else hunts or fishes as long as they do it legally.
Legally, right.
But if you see somebody doing something blatantly illegally, I think it's up to us as law-abiding hunters and anglers to call the RAP line, 800-292-7800, 800-292-7800, and report them. Let them know. Don't confront them. You don't walk up to somebody who is over an illegal deer holding a 30-06.
Because they are armed.
They've already proven they have no regard for the law. But yeah, listen, I've been in this business a long time, and I am convinced that 99% of hunters and anglers are good law-abiding people. But like any group, there are a few bad apples, and they make the rest of us look bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
All right, Mike, so if people want more information about